Good morning, everybody. Welcome to English class. Today we're gonna do about um, review of your test. Vamos a revisar su test. First, that you know, I'm gonna take the list. Cortés, vamos a ingresar. Humanicho,
Present teacher.
Jaramillo, Malataxi,
Presente, profe.
Nazareno, Nazareno,
Presente. Present teacher.
Icuasi,
Present teacher.
Ilataxi,
Present teacher.
Duas,
Present teacher.
Sueño,
Present teacher.
Romero,
Present teacher.
Cupón, Cupón, me parece que ingresó. Ok. Okay, part one. This is a review test. She lives in the same building as me. You have to read the rest of the sentence, but you have to know about what word is in here. She lives in the what is in here? Building as me. Same, okay? Similar, not. Different, not. Same is true, and the one not. She lives in the same building as me when we often see each other. Dice, ella vive en en el mismo edificio que yo vivo, ¿no? Nosotros a menudo nos vemos. Entonces no puedo poner aquí different, no sería correcto. Similar, tampoco, no puedo decir ella vive en un edificio similar que yo, nosotros nos vemos, no tiene sentido, ¿no? It's the same. She lives in the same building as me. We often see each other. It is 22. This is a temperature. Temperature. 22 temperature today? Not. Is incorrect. 22 hot today? Not. 22 weather today? Not. Porque temperature es temperatura, hot es caliente o cálido, and weather es clima, ¿sí? Entonces, it is 22 degrees today, ¿sí? Está a 22 grados hoy. The room is large. What is in here? To put it another bed. Dice, la habitación es grande. ¿Qué deberíamos poner? ¿Two? No.
Now.
Es enough. Very tampoco. Large, very, no. Well, large, well, is not correct. The room is large enough to put this another bed. To put in another bed. Dice, la habitación es grande, es lo suficientemente grande. Enough significa suficiente, ¿verdad? Es lo suficientemente grande para poner otra cama. Her husband comes from Canada. He speaks both English and French. ¿Ya? Dice, es el esposo de ella, ¿no? Porque es her husband. Su esposo es de Canadá. ¿sí? Comes from, viene de Canadá, ha nacido en Canadá, comes from. He speaks both English and French. Él habla ambos, inglés y francés. A typhoon is a big storm, not wind, not tide, not cloud. It's a big storm, a typhoon. Un tifón es una gran tormenta, tormenta, no un gran viento. No, aquí es cloud, es nublado, type, tipo. No, no tiene sentido con estas, ¿sí? Viento no es un tifón, es una gran tormenta, un tifón. Grammar. Choose the answer. This restaurant is to my office than that one. Closer, closer. Este restaurante está cercano a mi oficina. ¿Ya? ¿Qué? El otro. O sea, que el otro restaurante. Than that one es que el otro restaurante. Está haciendo una comparación entre dos restaurantes, el uno que queda bastante cercano a la oficina y el otro que queda muy lejos. Entonces dice, this restaurant is closer to my office than that one. Today is day of the week. Is the colder? No, this is not correct. Coldly? Not correct. Coldest? Not correct. The correct form of superlative is the coldest. La forma correcta de nombrar el superlativo es el más frío, el the coldest. ¿Sí recuerdan que vimos la gramática? ¿Sí? Que tenemos que ponerle antes del adjetivo el artículo the y luego al adjetivo le aumentamos est si es que tiene una sílaba. Si es que es de dos sílabas y termina en y, le quitamos la y, le ponemos la i y luego le aumentamos est. Y si es que es más de tres sílabas o más, nosotros ponemos most, the most beautiful, the most interesting. Ya, por favor, prendan las cámaras, chicos. Yo no sé por qué no encienden. Jesús, Jofre, Eric, Anthony, Israel. Ya saben que tienen que prender las cámaras, uno no tiene que estar atrás diciendo. Ok. Michael is on the weekend. What? Is more happier? No, that's not correct. More happiest? Not correct. The happier is not correct. Happier. Michael is happier on the week. Andrew is the taller of the two brothers. Andrew es el más alto, ¿no? Entre los dos hermanos, Andrew is the taller of the two brothers. He also friendlier. Y también es amigable. The pay at my new job is higher than the pay at my old job. La paga de mi antiguo trabajo era más alta que la paga de la paga de mi nuevo trabajo es más alta que la paga de mi antiguo trabajo. ¿Ya? The pay at my new job is higher than the pay at my old job. Okay. Part 3, close. You have to complete with each word in each blank. Yeah? The correct word in each blank. Lizzie Lizzie and Henry are good friends. However, they don't agree. They don't agree about the weather. Henry hates rainy weather. He is very happy when there is no rain. He's from California. So he prefers, number 3, so he prefers dry weather. Lizzie is okay with rainy weather. She doesn't mind carrying a nice umbrella on the rainy days. She also likes rainbows. You can sometimes see them on rainy days after the sun comes out. But Lizzie and Henry both love warm weather. They don't want to live in the warmest place on the earth. So, this place is in Ethiopia. It is 35 degrees there all year around. If you remember, this conversation is in your student book. ¿Ya? Esta conversación está en su student book, ¿sí? Bueno, aquí se está hablando en tercera persona. Ellos están conversando, ¿ya? Pero aquí se está comentando la historia de ellos, lo que ellos hablaron. Bien. En el documento que yo le voy a enviar está todo esto. Todo lo que estamos revisando ahorita está, ¿sí? Entonces, si usted tiene alguna duda de cuál es la respuesta, usted simplemente va al video de la clase de hoy y revisa las respuestas, ¿ok? ¿Sí? Estamos
Ok,
de acuerdo.
Lizan, esto sí le había informado que ayer yo estaba ingresando el ABC, no, anteayer fue y no me dejó entrar. No sé por qué, solo me pedía de nuevo el correo. Yo ingreso el correo y no me deja ingresar de nuevo y así, Liz.
Qué raro, puede ser que la plataforma haya estado saturada por lo que todos los chicos estaban ingresando, ¿no? Supongo que debió ser eso. Pero bueno, yo les voy a enviar el documento y tienen el video. Si en caso no pueden ingresar a la plataforma, ¿sí? Entonces tienen el video y el documento que les envío para que ustedes realicen el trabajo de recuperación del examen del día de ayer. Además, lo tienen que realizar no imprimiendo las hojas. Usted tiene que copiar en su cuaderno, ¿sí? Cada una de las partes. Va a poner part 1, vocabulary and phrases, y va a copiar todo en su cuaderno. Luego va a hacer la parte 2, que es gramática. La parte 3, que es esta, que es poco, no es demasiado. Y la parte 4, que es passage question. ¿Ya? Ahí usted ha de tener unos listening, ¿sí? Puede leerlo también. O sea, si no puede ingresar aquí para el listening, ¿ya? Usted lo puede leer. Sí, no hay problema. Bien, the next. Read the passage and choose the answer. Some countries have 4 seasons, and some countries have only 2 seasons. Canada has 4 seasons. They are spring, summer, fall, and winter. The weather is different in each season. In spring, it is rainy. In summer, it is hot. In fall, it is windy. And in winter, it is cold and snowy. It's nice to live there because the weather changes all the time. The Philippines only has 2 seasons. It has a rainy season and a dry season, and it feels like summer all year round. You can go to the beach every day. ¿De qué nos habla aquí? Que algunos países tienen 4 estaciones y otros tienen solamente 2, como nosotros. Canadá tiene 4 estaciones. Ellos tienen spring, ¿qué es spring? Primavera. Summer, ¿qué es summer? Verano. Fall, ¿qué es fall? Otoño. And winter, nos falta una, invierno. El clima es diferente en cada estación. En primavera está algo lluvioso, ¿sí? Porque ahí crecen las plantas, ¿ya? En verano es bastante caluroso. En otoño eh, hay bastante viento, ¿sí? Vientos fuertes. Y en invierno es frío y nevado. Eso es donde tienen 4 estaciones. Ahora, nosotros que tenemos 2 estaciones, tenemos todas las estaciones en un solo día, ¿verdad? Puede ser que esté muy ventoso, puede ser que esté muy soleado y después llueve, ¿verdad? O está bastante soleado, caluroso, parece verano y después empieza el viento fuerte y luego la lluvia. Lo que no tenemos es nieve. De hecho, en Papayacta sí ha nevado. Dice que es lindo vivir con estos cambios de clima todo el tiempo. En Filipinas solamente tienen 2 estaciones. Es la estación lluviosa y la estación seca, como nosotros tenemos. Y se siente bien el verano, todo el año. Tú puedes ir a la playa todos los días, o todo el día. How many seasons does Canada have? 4 seasons. What is the weather like in fall in Canada? There is a lot of wind. ¿Ya? En el otoño, ¿sí? En Canadá siempre está ventoso. Why is Canada a great place to live? Because the weather doesn't stay the same. Es genial vivir en Canadá, dice, porque el clima no se queda no es el mismo el clima, sino siempre es cambiante, ¿no? Tiene las 4 estaciones. What is true about Philippines? The weather is never cold or snowy. El clima nunca está frío o nevado en Filipinas. Okay. You have to do the work, and I will send you all documents, okay? One moment. Okay, we're gonna do in here a reading, one reading.
Like sunny weather? Yuma, Arizona is the sunniest place on Earth. It's sunny for 4,050 hours each year. That's over 11 hours a day. The temperature can go up to 50 degrees Celsius too. It's hot, but it's very dry. For rain, you can go to Lioro, Colombia. It's the wettest place in the world. It gets 13,290 millimeters of rain every year. From the wettest place to the coldest, Antarctica. The lowest temperature there is minus 89 degrees Celsius. It is also the driest place. It's the windiest too. There are winds over 300 kilometers per hour all year round. That's about the same speed as a typhoon. Typhoons need warm water and wet air. You can look for them in the Philippines. It gets 7 or 8 on land every year.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the reading portion of our lesson. My name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
Now today's reading is called Crazy Weather. Now I was confused when I first saw that title. I wondered, what does crazy weather look like? I mean, after all, I know what a crazy person is. A crazy person is someone who does weird things, but crazy weather? What does that mean?
Well, crazy in this situation, when talking about weather, it means extreme or way beyond what we would expect or what would be normal. For example, someone could say, I have a crazy work schedule. Now, if you work from 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. at night, that would be pretty extreme and crazy. So, crazy weather is extremely hot or extremely windy or snowy or cold. It's weather that's way beyond what we would normally expect to see or feel.
Okay, I see. Well, the first example of a place with crazy weather is Yuma, Arizona. Now, Mike, you're from Arizona,
I sure am.
so maybe you know something about this place.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They say, or the article says, that it's the sunniest place on Earth. Get this. It gets over 4,050 hours of sun every year. Amazing, right?
That is amazing.
Now, I know Arizona is hot, but Mike, is it really that sunny?
Well, I didn't know about the 4,050 hours of sun, but yes, it's one of the sunniest places on Earth. It's in the middle of a desert, after all. We get hardly any clouds, so we rarely have to worry about the rain ruining our weekend because it hardly ever rains. By the way, as the article says, 4,050 hours is over 11 hours a day all year long. Over in this sense means more than. Like there are over 60 students. There might be 63 or 68, but definitely more than 60.
Wow. The weather in Yuma really is crazy.
Super hot.
Yeah, I guess it does mean that it would be hot in Yuma if they get that much sunshine.
Oh yeah, the article says that the weather, the temperature I should say, can go up to 50 degrees Celsius. Now up to means to a maximum of. So 50 is the hottest or the highest number it will get. It's often in the 40s though. That's pretty normal. For example, we can keep the food for up to 2 weeks. If we eat it before that, that's okay, but we don't want to keep it longer than 2 weeks.
Mike, no offense, but I never ever want to go to Arizona. It just seems way too hot there.
Well, it's not too bad. Of course, inside homes and buildings, we all have air conditioning, and we relax inside during the heat of the day, especially right around noon. But yeah, on very hot days in the summertime, my friends and I go to the movie theaters because they always have a lot of good air conditioning. And one thing about living somewhere hot, you get to eat a lot of ice cream.
I guess that if you have air conditioning, it's not too bad, but I'm still not sure that it's for me. Anyways, let's move on. Let's look at the second example of a place with crazy weather. Lloro, Colombia.
Oh yeah, I remember the article said that it's very wet there.
Yes, it's the wettest or most wet place in the world. Now, wet means covered in water or soaked in water. Okay, now, usually when people are talking about wet, they're referring to water, but you can be wet or soaked with other types of liquid like paint or something else that makes you not dry. Like you could say, the towel is wet. It could be filled with water or soaked through with water or maybe with sweat or some other liquid.
Right, and if a place is described as wet, of course, that means it probably gets a lot of rain. So how much rain does Lloro get exactly?
The article says it gets 13,290 millimeters of rain every year.
Wow, people must have to carry an umbrella everywhere they go. Okay, now let's talk about the coldest place in the world, which is Antarctica, or the South Pole, right down there on the bottom of the Earth. What's the lowest temperature in Antarctica? Well, we'll find out, but first I should explain low means the opposite of high. High will be a big number, low will be a small number. And when we're talking about a low temperature, that's the lowest or the coldest temperature you will find. For example, we could say the price is very low. The cost of this thing isn't very much money. It's a low price.
Now,
What's the lowest temperature?
You were wondering
Yes.
about low temperatures
I was.
in the South Pole. Get this.
It's going to be cold.
The lowest temperature there
Yes.
is minus
Yes.
89 degrees Celsius.
What?
That's super cold.
Oh, but 89 degrees sounds very hot. Remember in Arizona
Mike,
it's 40
Mike,
or
Mike,
50. You're
Mike.
saying 89. That's really hot.
You gotta listen up, my man.
Sorry?
You misheard me.
Did I?
Antarctica's lowest temperature is minus 89 degrees.
Minus.
Yes. 89 degrees would be extremely, extremely hot. That would probably kill you.
Yes.
Anyways, more on the word minus. The word minus indicates that the number we're talking about is less than 0. For example, it's minus 5 degrees outside.
Wow. So minus 89 in Antarctica. That is definitely freezing.
Oh, it would kill you.
I think
Yeah.
it probably would. Yeah, well, but your ice cream would always be nice and cold.
It might be a little difficult to eat, though.
Probably too hard to eat. Yeah, I don't think I could handle weather that cold since I'm from Arizona.
That's nothing, Mike. It gets worse.
Oh, no.
Antarctica, the South Pole, is also the windiest place in the world. There are winds over 300 kilometers per hour all year round.
That's incredible. 300 kilometers an hour. I don't understand how anything, human or animal, could survive in that. I'm glad I'm not a penguin. Of course, penguins do live down in Antarctica, but how do they stay alive? Huh.
No idea, Mike. I don't know. But I bet that even the penguins get cold sometimes.
Maybe.
Now, the article says that typhoon winds are about as fast as the winds there in the South Pole. Now, about in this case means near or around, such as I get up at about 6 in the morning. It might be 5:45, it might be 6:15, but I get up around that time.
Interesting. Well, I've never been in a typhoon, as you say before. We don't get typhoons in Arizona. It's too dry, there's no rain, and we're lucky, I guess.
Yeah, Arizona is warm enough, but it's too dry to get typhoons. Now, here we have the word warm. Warm means a little hot. Like, it's warm in this room. Whew. Maybe we should turn on the air conditioning in order to cool down. It's not hot yet, but it's getting there. It's definitely warm in this room.
Yeah, of course. I understand that those typhoons you're talking about, they need warm, wet air, like in the Philippines, in the Pacific Ocean, not in Arizona. The article says, actually, that the country of the Philippines gets 7 or 8 typhoons on land every year.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. Now, land in this sentence means ground. For example, fish can't live on land, they live in the water.
There you go. Wow. Typhoons, freezing temperatures, heavy rain. I'm glad that I don't have to deal with all this crazy weather.
Me too. I totally agree with you. Well, I think we're out of time for this article. Next up, I'll explain the grammar section. And in that today, we're going to talk about how to compare different things using comparatives and superlatives. It's going to be great.
It is going to be better than that even.
It's going to be better than fantastic.
Sounds great. So, folks, stay tuned. You're going to see Mike there, and I'll see you guys next time.
Ok. Dice aquí. Ahí sí me escucho. Ya. Bien, chicos, entonces ya les activo en la plataforma para que puedan realizar el trabajo de recuperación, ¿sí? Tienen que realizarlo en el cuaderno y no quiero que impriman, a ver, señor Jesús Nazareno. Jesús.
Mande, listen.
Usted me envía siempre las tareas que imprimió y solamente el de subraya o impresas. Y no es así. Tiene que enviarme a mano en el cuaderno y eso le toma la foto. Sí, yo no les califico tareas. Le califiqué, sí, pero no les puedo poner 10. Tareas que me imprimen y así me mandan. No.
Debo de volver a hacer, listen.
Ya las siguientes tienen que hacer bien. Tienen que hacer bien porque
Bueno,
no permito que impriman. Que si no, no van a aprender. Tienen que escribir. ¿Sí?
bueno, listen, perdón.
Bien. Listo, chicos. Entonces, ¿tienen alguna pregunta acerca del trabajo de recuperación?
No, Lice.
¿No? Listo. Entonces ya les activo en la plataforma y ustedes ya tendrían acceso para que puedan empezar a hacer el trabajo de recuperación. ¿Ok? Listo,
Ok,
chicos.
Lice.
See you tomorrow. No.
Hasta luego,
See
dicen que
you
tenga un buen
Thursday.
día.
Friday. Nos vemos el viernes. No tengo mañana con ustedes. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, you too. Have a nice day.